Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Pamela Pick. This is Piccadilly Stampin', and I've got a cute little card for you today using the Country Flowers bundle. So this is a stamp set and a die set, and if you purchase them together you save 10%. But this month, and there's only a week left of this month, if you purchase them together you get that 10% and additional 10% on top of that, off of the cost, which is a really great deal. So Country Flowers is what we'll be using. Just so you know, you can find that on page 50 of our annual catalog, and it'll show you the dies. It has a suite that comes with it, but I'm going to do something a little bit off the path of the suite. So let's get started. I'm also going to pair this with the Exposed Brick 3D embossing folder. And I have a piece of smoky slate that I have ran through. Now we'll have to cut this down here in just a moment. And I'm also going to be using, while I'm thinking of it, a little bit of the Mediterranean Blooms. This is a 12 by 12. This does not go with the suite of products that come with the bundle, but I wanted this deep navy floral on here. So let's get started and take everything out of our pack. I got my pieces falling all over. Okay. So I have another piece of smoky slate that we're going to fold over just to make our card base. This was a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that I cut in half at 5.5, and then I'm folding it over to make the crease, the center crease, at 4.25. Okay, now I need to cut down that Exposed Brick embossing folder paper down to 4 by 5.25. So let's do that really quick. 4 by 5.25. This will be our base and give kind of texture to our project here in the background. So I'll adhere that down. With some green glue. And actually, since it's embossed, I usually add a little extra. Oops, stuck my finger in it by accident. I want that to just give that little texture in the background on our card base. Isn't that pretty already? I just love that embossed. Okay, then I'm going to have a piece of scrap paper here, and I want to use the flowers from that bundled set, and I'm just going to ink this up in Tuxedo Memento ink, Tuxedo Black Memento ink, right there. And just put this down on our project piece. So then the fun part comes with doing the embellishments here. So I want to use, let's start off with the Lemon Lolly. I have the light and the dark. I'm going to start, this is the hardest part of this whole thing, is I'm going to start with this big flower and just use Lemon Lolly right throughout. Don't worry about getting it right to the edges, because I'm going to come back in and do kind of a highlight with the dark. So let me stop a minute. See, I don't have it right to the edges. Sometimes when you get to the edges, you can get kind of a feathering effect if you wait too long at those edges. So now I'm going to use the bullet end, and I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to line the edges with the dark Lemon Lolly. This will give it a little bit of, and it's literally lining, but a little bit of dimension. Okay, it's probably hard to see on camera, but it's a little lighter in the center. Okay, then I want to take the light balmy blue, and I am going to use the brush tip end again, and I'm going to color the next big flower. Not the middle, but all of these edges, all of these petals, right to that edge, just the tip. I don't want to concentrate and stay too long because this is an alcohol marker, so that will kind of sop up to the edge, and I don't want any seepage. Now that I have the two largest done, I'm going to take the dark peach pie with that brush tip end, and I'm going to come in here and just use that for the center of those flowers. Now, using the dark soft sea foam, I'm going to color in all of the greenery. This is some succulents in here, so this is a perfect color for succulents. It's a soft green, but I'm going to just do all of the greenery in it also. And then this large succulent I'll do. Trying to stay within those lines. Then there's a little bit of greenery here. Now let me stop and just look and see. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Then I'm going to come in with the light Night of Navy, and I'm going to use the brush tip again, and I'm going to do all of these little bud flowers in this dark Night of Navy. This will give that soft succulent a little bit of time to dry because I'm going to go over it again. Did you know that you can use, to make just a little bit of a highlight, you can use the same marker once it dries and go over it, and it gives just a little bit of a highlight. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back in. This is the dark soft succulent, and I'm going to do some extra. Can you see that? I've got some extra lines in here, and I'm going to do this whole thing with those extra lines. Now, to save a little time for the video, I went ahead and I pre-cut one out. I made one and pre-cut one out. So I can do this right here on camera for you to see, as I'm just going over it just to add that little extra highlight on that succulent. And you can do it as many times as you need. Don't worry about getting it exactly perfect. Just do it on the lower end where the succulent would be darker. Kind of distinguish between the leaves. Okay, so let's set that aside. I have a 3x3 piece of basic white, and I want to grab out the next. I'm taking the teapot image, and again, the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I'm just gonna ink that up. And I'm going to put this down towards the bottom of that 3x3. Like so. And then I've got the basic gray. This is the smoky slate. I'm sorry, not basic gray. And the way I'm going to start is very similar to how I did the succulent. I'm going to start with the light, and I'm just going to color this all in with the light. We're going to do a little bit more blending on this piece though. Right down here to the bottom. I'm going to turn it. It'll make it easier for me to go around this handle. Remember, light soft strokes so you don't get bleed into your ink. You definitely want to use the Tuxedo Memento Black ink or one of our inks, so that you have something that will work well with alcohol marker. It'll help keep that feathering. They're made specifically for that. So just some circular motions up here to the top. Now I just colored it in. Don't worry about it too much. Then we're going to take the dark, and I'm going to follow, like we know at the bottom it's going to be darker, so we're going to go ahead and put a dark line there at the bottom, and then I'm going to kind of follow down on this side where the line is, and I'm going to make this just a little bit thicker and kind of rounded, because we know that this is a rounded pot, so it would naturally have a curve in it, and the bottoms would be darker and the light would hit more from the top. So I'm going to make kind of a rounded curve like that with the dark. Then I'm going to come back with that brush tip end and the light smoky slate. I'm going to go right over that in circular images or circular motion here and go right into that to kind of blend that in. Again, we're going to pull this up. Don't worry about it being perfect. What you're looking for is to get kind of that blended look. Now, grabbing some dimensionals on the back of our flowers, I'll use about 3 on here. Kind of get all those bases covered. And then let me throw these in our little trash bin to collect them. Then we have to decide what we think looks good. And I want this to kind of come over the area that we covered. Look at that. Oh my gosh, is that not cute or what? That is so adorable. Love it. Okay, set that aside. Now I have a little 1/2 inch strip here by 3 inch, and I think I'm gonna take Night of Navy this time. Ink, and I'm going to use one of the sentiments. It says best friend ever, and I'm going to ink that up, and I think I will have to stand for this, and I'll just try to center that right there in the middle. A good press. There we go. All right, I have a piece of that paper that is 3/4 by 3 1/4 inch of DSP. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give this a good ink, or a good bead of glue right down that center. And I will center this on this DSP. I may have to lift that to get that to center up. There we go. It's easy to follow that line on this DSP so that you can get that kind of centered in there. It's a little bit, you may have to play a little bit to get it just the way you liked it, but just eyeball it. Okay, that looks good. And then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. That might be a little overkill, but I definitely like to have it not squish when in mailing. So now I have my silicone mat here, and if I place that down, it's not going to stick to that, which is awesome because we'll be using that in a second. For this piece, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue a Night of Navy cardstock mat to this. So this is 3 by 3, so this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Don't worry about these measurements. They'll all be in my email that goes out this week. So if you're not signed up, get signed up, because I'll have that out by this weekend. I'll tell you how at the end, and definitely I'll link it in the video so that you will be able to find it in the description box. Okay, bringing our base in now, let's go ahead and adhere this down. Since it's got the embossing on there, I wanted to give it a little extra glue. And I like to leave an even edge if possible. So I'm going to stand to just make sure. Sometimes doing this with the camera up your nose is a little bit more challenging. There we go. Okay. Now, normally I would have done like a little something to ground this, but instead I decided I'm going to use this, and I'm going to offset it, but I'm going to put it down at the base, so I didn't need to draw anything. Just going to offset that right there. Isn't that cute so far? I love it. Now, you could center it if you want to. You can move it down and center it. I like the layer, and I like the movement. Okay, now we have the Essentials Baker's Twine, and you can always take a basic white Baker's Twine, that brush tip in, and you can go ahead and you can color your Baker's Twine any color you want to. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is, I have access, because I'm a demonstrator, I get things early, the Natural Tones linen thread. Now, this linen thread is awesome. This is upcoming in our upcoming catalog. So I'm going to go ahead and use this because we have a navy right here, and it'll save time on my video. So I try to make these videos shorter. I'm just going to do just a granny knot bow. And I want to make it rather small, actually. Something like this. And bringing our trash in. Now, this linen thread will be available in the September catalog when that comes out. I just happen to have it, but you could always use white if you wanted to, too. It's just up to you and your personal, whatever you like. Okay, I'm going to roll, I'm just going to use my fingernail here to roll up a glue dot. And then I will take my Take Your Pick tool. Where's my Take Your Pick tool? Huh. Oh, here it is. It was hiding on me. And I'm just going to put that right on the end. That way I can go one side or the other. And I think I'm going to pick this side, maybe. Right there. And then I can just throw that little bow on there for just a little added depth. And then the Tinsel Gem 4-pack has these beautiful navy colored. They work perfectly. So I'll have a large one and a small one right up here with our project. And then I'll do another small one maybe right there. Oh my gosh. This thing, let me move some stuff out of the way. Except for, I need the lid for that. I don't want to get poked. This thing is so stinking cute. Look at that. Isn't that just an adorable little card to send to one of your friends? Now, obviously, you can use whatever sentiment you want, but the design of it is what was really cute. So my friend Gwen Ike designed this card. I changed it up just a little bit, but I want to give a shout out to Gwenny because this is just adorable. I hope you enjoyed this video and this tutorial. Now, a few things I do want to just remind you of is to sign up for that email, because that is going to give you this video, pictures of the project. It will give you the measurements of the project and the products that I used. You won't have to look it up in one place. I used to have people go to my blog for one thing, go to Pinterest for another thing. I have decided that I'm just going to send out these emails and have it all in one place. The beauty of it is you get to put the email into a folder labeled Piccadilly Stampin', Pamela, whatever you want, and then you have access to it anytime you want it. So where do you sign up for this? www.piccadillystampin.blogspot.com is where you sign up for this. This email probably won't go out until Friday. So I'm trying to give a little bit more time because people are saying they see my video and then they're not getting signed up in time. So go as soon as possible. I'll get this email sent out on Friday for you. I will post this email tomorrow for everybody, post the video tomorrow for everybody on YouTube. But as you're seeing it, it'll give you a few days to get signed up, and then you can get the email so that you have them. A reminder that our bundle sets are an extra 10% off. So normally our bundles are 10% off, but they're giving an extra 10% off on our die bundles only. They also have all of our machines. They have the large and the mini for an extra 10% off. The table trash. If you place an order with me before the 29th, so that's this week, guys, you can get your own little table trash that you can throw out. Now, I put my little things when I'm crafting to keep my area kind of clean. I have a big trash underneath that I dump it in just like that, which that's stuck to. But the thing that I love about this the most is I had a different one. It was a little bit big and bulky in my way. This is a little bit smaller, but I can throw it in my dishwasher, and then if I get any glue or ink in here, it's just going to wash right out, and I don't have to. It is a ceramic piece. I don't have to try to clean that out all the time. I was using a plastic piece and it would stain. So it's a $100 purchase before tax and shipping using my current host code, and then you will be able to get one of these. This is different colors of them. This was just mine that I picked, but I can't guarantee what color you're going to get, but it's redeemable only through me to the 29th of this month, so a few days. And then last but not least, please like, comment, share right here on my video, subscribe, let me know what you liked, what you'd like more of, and I really appreciate it very much. So take care, everyone. I will see you next week. Sign up for that email, www.piccadillystampin.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye-bye.